Hey, what's going on, Noble Gamers? Noble Master Des here, and today I just thought I'd do a video of a recent buys video. About during the week, I picked up a couple new things, and I just thought I'd show them to you guys. So, kind of change the scenery here, show you the background, the posters, and all that stuff. But, you know what, let's just get started right now. First thing I wanted to show, one thing I picked up, super excited when I had found this, walked inside this pawn shop, and I just see this hanging right there on the shelf. It is an Atari 7800 Pro system. This has to be one of my favorite finds so far. This released 1987, and it came with the original box also. The original box is right there actually. Somewhere right there. Yeah, it came with the original box. And it's funny, once I opened the box, it came with the controllers and everything. The only thing it was really missing was the video cable, the RF cable. But I could always find that, I'd probably find it online. But what's cool about this system is that it can also play 7800 games and Atari 2600 games. So it's backwards compatible, pretty much. So that was an awesome find for me, and I just can't wait to play this thing and test it out. Next up that I picked up recently, today, was a Game Boy SP. This is actually the first gen Game Boy SP. It's sometimes hard to tell which one you have, really. Like the first gen pretty much doesn't have a backlit screen. It has more like just like a light that is surrounding the screen, right? So the lights are shining from the sides, top and bottom onto the screen. The second gen model actually is a backlit screen, kind of like what you see on the Nintendo DS and that stuff. But this has to be my favorite kind of Game Boy, pretty much. It has to be the best Game Boy because it can play Game Boy Advance, Game Boy SP, original Game Boy, Game Boy SP, I'm sorry, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, and original Game Boy games. So it's really awesome, and it's very portable too. I mean, that's pretty cool. Next up is some Super Nintendo games, such as Super Mario World. This game right now is probably about $20 to $30 right now when you try to pick this up at any store, maybe a flea market, maybe. I actually got this for about $5 at a pawn shop. It was actually a super great deal. I actually picked this same time up when I got the Atari, so the guy gave me a great deal, $40 altogether. He was originally selling the Atari for about $45, but he was really nice enough, to drop it down and throw in Super Mario World. I was like, oh man, that is a great buy right there, and I so can't wait to try this out. Another game I picked up is, I never played this game, never even heard of it, it's Mario Paint. I'm not too sure about this game. It was only about like $5 really, but I'm gonna have to do some more research on it, and I'm definitely gonna be playing it, just to try it out and tell you guys how it is. I will be doing reviews on some older stuff as well. This is basically an all-gen channel right here. So yeah, let's see what else I got. Picked this up today actually it was about $4, but I did an even trade for one of my other games. It's called Drakon or Drakon, something like that. This is a very, very old school RPG. It looked pretty hilarious, but in a way it looks so funny that you would just want to play. It's just one of those RPGs. Actually, my cousin Mike, he was telling me, oh, you should definitely get this. We were watching a video on it, and it's very, very old school. But I love old school RPGs, so I'm definitely going to be playing this when I get the chance. Next up is a couple Atari 2600 games. First one is Adventure. This has to be probably the first RPG ever, pretty much. You're basically a block, literally just a block, and you're moving around like different screens that you're basically like, you go inside castles, and to unlock doors or things that are shaped like gates, you have to go to certain rooms and stuff, and you'll find a giant key that your block picks up, and you'll get attacked by these funny looking, they're supposed to be dragons, but they look like twisted looking snakes and stuff. It's pretty hilarious, but it's also a fun game also. I was looking at gameplay, and I actually do want to play this, so that was pretty cool. Next, I picked this up a while ago, but I just thought I'd show it anyway, is Yars Revenge. This game is, it's a shooter, a side-scrolling, not really a side-scroller, but it is a shooter, a sideways shooter. And basically, this game was actually one of the top-selling Atari 2600 games at its time. It sold over 1 million copies. This game was actually named after the CEO of Atari, which it says Yars Revenge, but the name is actually Ray's Revenge. I can't remember the last name of the CEO, but I know his first name was Ray. So that's what this game was pretty much inspired by. And it's actually a fun game. It's pretty weird, but it is one of those Atari games that definitely can get really, really fun. Next up, I picked this game up about twice, but the worst game of all time, well, so everyone says, E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Oh my goodness, this game, I mean, you can't, people say, oh, it's the worst game of all time, and you know, they dumped it in this ditch somewhere in New Mexico, which it was true, they actually did dump a bunch of copies there. But it's not the worst game, but it is one of the top most frustrating games ever. Basically, in the game, you're E.T. just finding his way back home. So you need to find a bunch of phone parts that are scattered everywhere, but they're scattered inside these holes. So you're constantly falling into these holes over and over and over again, and it just gets so annoying. You know, that's what pretty much people say, oh, it's like the worst game ever, pretty much. But it can get annoying because you go up, you fall down, you go up very, very slowly, you take 2 steps, you fall right back down in another hole. But you know what, I'm still going to end up playing it, you know, and I will get frustrated and probably throw it across the room. But if you find this game, I recommend getting it, you know, just to have, it's a piece of gaming history. I mean, it's always nice to have, you know. Next up is a couple Game Boy games I actually picked up for very cheap. I have a bunch of other Game Boy games, but I just thought I'd show the ones I just picked up. First one is for the Game Boy Color, Super Mario Deluxe. This is actually one of the top rated Game Boy Color games out there. It's really, really great. This is basically the original Super Mario Brothers, but it has 3 different modes. It has a versus mode and a challenging mode, which I think it's you know, within a certain time limit, clear levels or get a certain amount of coins. And it also has the original, of course, the original game of Super Mario, so like that where you, yeah, just like the original Super Mario. But it's a fun game, you know, I really love playing it, I still play it. Next up is Donkey Kong Land 2. Now, of course, it's pretty much copy and paste of Donkey Kong Country, except this one focuses more on Diddy Kong, and I forget her name. The other girl, oh boy, I can't remember her name. It's in there, I just can't really think right now. But anyway, also if you love Donkey Kong Country, this is a great game. It's very similar, it's pretty much a copy and paste just with Diddy Kong. But it's really fun, and you know what, it's one of those great games you can play on the go just to like pass the time. It's really great. Next, I just picked this up today, Frogger for the original Game Boy. It's basically, I mean, what's there to say about Frogger? It's a Frogger game. You know, Frogger never really changes, really. You're just a frog, and you go passing through roads and rivers just to get to the end. Well, you know what? It's a Frogger. That's all I gotta say about it. Next up is Bomberman Max Challenger. Basically, it's Bomberman pretty much. Just kind of like, it has a kind of like a, not like an adventure mode kind of thing, but instead of going against other players, of course, you're basically just clearing your way to killing enemies. It's your basic everyday Bomberman, but it's also really fun though. If you love Bomberman, I mean, it's great to have. It's a great game to play on the go, definitely. It's awesome. But that's pretty much it for the recent buys. I do have a bunch of other stuff right here, as you can see. I don't know, if you guys want, I can go through all those stuff in another video. Just let me know. I could go through my Atari box games that I have right there. I like the original Game Boy, this other stuff. And also, once I am able to, I would like to do Let's Play videos of not only just modern games, but I also want to do Let's Play videos of like older games, you know, like SNES, Sega Genesis, Atari, stuff like that. Yeah, one video I would like to do of a Let's Play is a game that's on the Sega Genesis called Ghouls and Ghosts. It's basically, you know, like a sequel to Ghosts and Goblins, but this one's on the Sega Genesis. It's one of my favorite games, you know, of that time. And it's one of the most frustrating, but it's also super fun. If I could find that game anywhere, I would just flip if I could get that game, definitely. But recently I just started playing Witcher 3, and I actually did a live stream yesterday. So I'm thinking if I'll probably do another live stream. Maybe tonight I'll even do another live stream. I'll see what I can do. And don't worry, if you can't watch the live stream, I'll be re-recording it and I'll post it on YouTube for you guys. It won't be the beginning of The Witcher 3, but I'm probably about maybe an hour into it, so you guys don't really miss too much really. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, favorite, and I will catch you noble gamers on another day, another video. Peace.